Episode of Stacker News Live. I'm Car with Keyan.
Hello.
What's going on?
Yeah, not a whole bunch. What's going on with you?
I got this. Topher brought me this drink. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's like a orange mango.
Where is it from?
From Target.
Oh,
Target.
it looks like it's like from another like South Korea.
I mean, he could have
looked
looked somewhere else.
How is it?
Wow, it's not bad.
Oh, it's a probiotic soda. So you're gonna have like excellent BMs now. I think is what
BMs? BMI?
No, it's I'm talking. I didn't try not to say the word poop, Car.
Hey, come on. You can say whatever you want. It's the internet. How was your week?
My week was it was good. I think it's pretty good. We had some cool people stop into the lab.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're like publicly here or not, so I don't want to say anything.
Yeah. I think so. It's always better to side on the
privacy side.
I think wait like a year and then say they visited. I think that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. Then you tell everyone you're best friends, and yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was cool. I don't know, just a lot of cool stuff going on around here. How about you? How's your week?
ACL's next week, dude. I want to go. There's some really good. Have you seen the lineup?
I've never even been to ACL.
Dude, let me see.
Remember when I moved here, people were like, are you going to ACL? I'm
dude,
like, what is that?
There's some really good. Look at that, dude. I want to go. It's telling Nick I want to go.
ACL is a body part. It's on the back of your
there's
leg.
There's a lot of good bands. Anyway, that's next week.
Wow. Okay. So
this is what we're thinking about. This is what we're thinking about here in Austin, Stackers.
Do you have like special?
You just wear shorts. You get some sunglasses on, and you go like this.
You go cool.
You just go out there, and then you're just like that, soaking in the sun.
You just hold your hands like this.
Just hold your hands like that. Just like
that's how you accept the music.
That looked polite
with your hands.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and then yeah, it's just been it was really busy the first half of the week for me, but since Wednesday, it's kind of just
tumultuous, I would say.
Yeah.
In a good way.
That's what it is being a startup. All right. If you have never seen the show before, this is called Stacker News Live. This is where we host the top 5 stories that the stackers vote for every week on the front page of Bitcoin. If you haven't checked out Stacker News, you should check it out, stacker.news. It's the best place to get the most information on what's going on in the Bitcoin space.
Can you imagine someone watching this video and not having been to Stacker? They have to be so like, what are these?
I mean, it's possible. We've been doing
trolls?
This for like 87 weeks in a row. It's very possible somebody doesn't know what this is.
And they just come across it on like the YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably just like the algo's feeding them.
You're like Katie's husband like finds it in her watch history.
That's probably what's going on. People are just like, this is for me. Look at these two handsome men talking about this text. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I feel good about being handsome.
Okay, with that, let's get into the top 5 stories of the week on Stacker News Live. First top story is renting an apartment for Bitcoin. This is from Monotone, September 25th. Bitcoin post, 32 comments, 22,000 sats, baby. What's this, Keyan?
Yeah, this is great. So if you remember last week, we covered a story from Monotone who was apparently living in Russia when Russia invaded Ukraine, or defended themselves from Ukraine, however you think about it. But they wrote about how they had to leave Russia because all their funds were like frozen and they lost access to credit, and so they left. I think in the newsletter on Saturday I said they had moved to Europe, but apparently instead they had moved to Georgia. Anyway, Monotone is excited about how well they're posted, so they came back and wrote a little more about their life. Their like Bitcoin life that they're leading, their more like Bitcoin standard-ish life that they're leading in Georgia, which is like very close to Russia still. But one of the cooler stories in here is the person who owns the apartment building that he's staying in is a citizen of the United States, and they worked out with their landlord to pay them in Bitcoin because otherwise it was an easy sell for their landlord, because otherwise it would have to go through international banking systems for him to eventually get his rent payment. So it was like an awesome example of Bitcoin winning pragmatically here.
Yeah, dude, it's good just to being able to say it. They use on-chain or they use Lightning?
I don't know. I mean, a rent payment definitely would make sense on-chain. It's pretty big, but
yeah, I mean, on-chain payments, dude. I don't know if you send any very often, but
it's the OG, dude.
It feels so good when you send an on-chain payment. If actually, well, it doesn't feel as good as a Lightning payment, but it just feels like a truck.
It hits different. It hits different for sure.
It hits different. It's just like you just feel like a baller.
Yeah,
shot caller.
Yeah, it's probably like having like an original Coke with cocaine in it. You know, like that. Like you get that you go back to the first version of something is probably good. I mean, it's probably like poisonous, but I feel that same way too. It's legit a crazy, amazing invention, and there's never gonna be anything better. We got
Siggy47 in the top comment. He said, "Great story and clever orange pilling. Can you tell us more about Georgia and its loyalty to Bitcoin? Is there an already existing Bitcoin community there?" Monotone OP says Georgia is interesting in that the majority of the local population is rather indifferent to Bitcoin. Any exchange points or stores with payment in sats are opened by expats who have moved to the country. Bitcoin communities I was not able to find, but yeah, I think like Darth says right here is like, yes, Stacker News loves stories like these. We do. We definitely love seeing these kind of stories. I have seen that more. You just see more expats there that are the Bitcoiners. That's how it was in Mexico for me. There's just expats that were Bitcoiners, along with all the Mexicans that were Bitcoiners too, but you see a lot of that. Bird Eye 21, he said, amazing. Must be a great feeling getting that text. And Monotone said, yes, that's exactly right. Pretty cool. Stackers seem to love it. Top post of the week. What was this? My difficult transition. Oh, this was the previous one that he did?
Yep.
Okay. So it looks like Stackers, there's a previous post. You check that one out. The next top story is paying for breakfast with Bitcoin at the Melville Deli. This is 23,000 sats, 40 comments, 6047, September 27th, Bitcoin post. Siggy on the move again?
He is on the move. He's out there trying to meet up with all the orange pilled people in New York, the greater state of New York. Siggy, I guess, went and downloaded the BTC Map app, which is this app where you can kind of look geographically where there are Bitcoin accepting businesses. And one of few places that he found near him was this delicatessen. If you've never been to New York, they have like it's kind of a tradition to have these delicatessens. It's like a very common lunch place. It's kind of like a diner in a way if you're somewhere else in the United States and you haven't been around delicatessens, but they're like a thing there. Anyway, the owner of this particular deli is a Bitcoiner and is on BTC Map and accepts both on-chain and Lightning payments. And apparently, it's not like they're doing it as like a shill to try to get our like niche community in there. They're running a successful delicatessen, and they're also a Bitcoiner that accepts Bitcoin as payment. Siggy I recommend reading the post. Siggy kind of outlines the experience there, in addition to describing the employer as offering his employees, since 2016, he's been offering his employees their Christmas bonuses in Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yeah. Since 2016. So the price of Bitcoin in 2016 was what, like a couple $1,000s? So apparently only 2 of his employees were taking him up on the Bitcoin offer, but they've since held on to the Bitcoin. So they probably have quite a bit of Bitcoin now as a result of their boss, the owner of Melville Deli.
Do you think it makes sense to offer a cash discount? Like, it should be more expensive in cash, right?
What should be more expensive?
So, like, let's say a sandwich is like $20 or something. On Bitcoin, it's let's say it's 15 if you pay with Bitcoin. Do you think that makes more sense, or do you think it should be the other way around?
No, it depends. It depends on whether the person who's receiving payment intends to take the cash and turn it into Bitcoin. If they do, then it would make sense for them to charge more for the cash. But I think if you're like if you're trying to get your customers to switch to Bitcoin, yes, you should charge them a fee for not using Bitcoin to incentivize them to use it.
Yeah, I'm looking at their menu right now. It'd be cool, like there at the bottom, you could put like BTC, whatever, and then right next to it, like dollars.
I wonder if there's is there anywhere on their site where it says Bitcoin accepted here?
No, it's probably no. See, I was trying to order right now, but it wouldn't let me.
You're gonna order
I was trying to place an order, but
I see.
I think they're an hour ahead of us, so we just missed the window.
Oh no!
Or wait, hang on, let me see. Order.
Well, what would have happened to your sandwich?
I would tell Siggy to pick it up. He watches the show.
I think he said he had to drive like an hour.
Oh, did he? I just set it up for tomorrow and be like, "Yo, Siggy, I'm gonna place an order. Pick it up. You're welcome. Here's your sandwich."
Well, he might not want to associate his name.
That's true. We'll call him Stan.
Stan.
Cool. And the top comment of the week for this one was from an Anon. Good to see someone in New York leading the charge.
I love this Nemo meme right below it. It's where the guy from Yellowstone.
You watch Yellowstone?
Oh, it's such a good show.
That's Kevin Costner?
That's Kevin Costner, dude.
Oh, wow. Dude, that guy's a legend.
He's a fucking cowboy.
He's Superman's dad.
Yeah.
Man of Steel. Fries? No. I like to pay in Bitcoin with that. Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. The next top story is Obscura, the VPN that can't track your activity. This is from Cube. 21 comments, 10,004 sats. September 27th tech post.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one?
Yeah, this is so Carl Dong, who is a Bitcoin Core contributor, and also I believe runs vpn.sovereign.engineering, which is another popular VPN solution that Bitcoiners use because it allows you to pay for Molvad with Lightning. Anyway, he released new or announced the announcement of releasing a new VPN service that claims to not be able to determine your IP address. They haven't really described how it works in detail yet, but we have in the comments a few people are kind of trying to deduce what is likely going on. Like in their FAQ, it sounds like they're describing onion routing of some kind, even though they say the exit nodes are third-party relays. They're not using Tor, but they're doing something a little like Tor. Tor uses onion routing. Bitgould, who is like leading the charge on page joins, also chimes in and describes what he thinks is going on, where apparently there are some of these HTTP messages that you can use specifically for VPNs, and then using a blind relay after getting forwarded through Obscura, where Obscura only sees encrypted traffic.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we were talking about VPNs last week, weren't we? I just think the best VPN, and I could be wrong, maybe this is just me. I think the best VPN solution is just a open VPN to your home network. I mean, I don't know, call me crazy.
Oh, well, what about your privacy? Because now you're basically all your traffic is now.
I mean, if I'm not doing anything illegal, right? I mean,
oh no, but I mean, what if what if buying sandwiches in New York City was illegal and you didn't know it, and now
I mean, if you want to go the whole route of like, trying to make sure you're anonymous and all that stuff, I get that, but like at the end of the day, like the average normal person just needs to make sure that they're holding their data is just going through it's not getting, like, let's say here, right? Like if I use my VPN here, I can VPN into my home network at home. So like if anybody else is kind of looking at what I'm doing, they can't get to it, right? Theoretically. Okay. But this just seems a little, there's a lot of like, I'm not saying, I don't know this guy who made it, but I'm just saying it just feels like a lot of promises there. And there's really no way to, I don't know, man. It's really hard to take somebody's word for it.
Well, in your home VPN example, you said if someone is in this network, they could see your traffic here, and they wouldn't be able to use their home VPN. But if someone is on your home network, now they can see both. And so I think that's kind of, what counts against that a little bit. But VPNs are useful in other types of way. Maybe you don't want to be giving more of your data to these companies who haven't paid you for it.
Oh, what's happening? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm choking up because VPN. I have a sore spot for VPNs. Me and Carl Dong go way back. Not really.
Do you guys really go way back?
No, I don't even.
Have you met him before?
I don't know. I don't know anyone with the last name Dong.
And so that's what I'm trying to say. For me, it's simply like, how do I keep hold of my data, right? That's what's more important to me. I think for the privacy types, maybe this makes more sense for them. But for somebody like me who wants to control their own data, I don't want to give my data to Obscura and take their word for it.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're not going to be able to see any of it because it's all encrypted as they see it. And
is there a way we can verify that then?
Yes, when the client is released, it'll show you. You'll be able to verify.
Should lead with that. Wait and see then.
Wait and see. I think another motivation for people who are using these VPN services is to use privacy tech because they are interested in protecting the privacy of other people. And so this gives them hands-on experience with privacy tech that they would like to see used more by people who maybe need it. And so they're in part like participating in this privacy economy so that people who need it have more options.
I don't know. Lately, I just feel like this whole privacy thing is just it's always going to be like a boom, boom, boom. It's gonna go on forever.
You mean whack-a-mole?
Not even a whack-a-mole. It's just like next year at this time, I guarantee it. We'll see another one of these. That's all I'm saying. It's just always going to be the next.
It's a guarantee. Someone do like a remind me bot on YouTube, and we'll come back and see.
I mean, Movad, right? Like a year before Movad came out, all this stuff. What was last year? The Impervious one. That's what I'm saying. It's just always this.
Impervious wasn't a VPN, was it?
No, they were. I think it had.
Oh, they were a VPN to begin with. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. There's always going to be another one of these. That's all I'm saying.
But they just keep getting better. It's kind of like saying Apple should shut down because just go away. They're just going to come out with another iPhone.
No, they shouldn't shut down.
That's right. You Apple fanboy.
I'm not. Not since Steve died. I mean, good for him. Let's see. Let's wait and see. I want to use it. I want to use this.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, I do. No, I do. I give a shit about my privacy. I want to use it. It's just that convince me. Like what did it take for people to convince me to use Bitcoin? It took a lot. So.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth convincing people usually, but it's worth providing solutions. So that when they convince themselves, they're ready.
Okay, you win.
There's no fight.
I know. The next top story is my Bitcoin weight loss journey. This is from Need Creation, September 22nd. Bitcoin post. 39 comments, 21,004 sats, baby. Boy.
Yeah, Need Creations. I don't know if you remember
that handsome man.
Oh, look at him. I like his.
He's wearing shades too, like me. Look at that.
Maybe I should try one of those beards.
Just look at that. Right, this way. We're both wearing shades.
You are. Wow. It's incredible, the likeness when you're wearing sunglasses because of the sunglasses. But Need Creations, if you guys don't know, I think they're the one that won the Michael Saylor meme contest that happened during the bull market. I don't remember. He was giving away sats on Twitter for like the best meme, and I think he won. That's how I remember Need Creations. Anyways, Need comes to write about how they had gained a bunch of weight following a diagnosis of a brain condition and needing medication for that. A lot of these medications, they often wreak havoc on your metabolism. And he put on a lot of weight. He says 352 pounds, but prior to this brain condition, been a healthy 220 pounds and very active. Anyway, so he's kind of, depressed about it, but on Bitcoin Twitter, he began, following a lot of the people who are, coincidentally into Bitcoin and health, or perhaps non-coincidentally. Anyway, it led him to, begin to take his health more seriously. He says he mostly does one ingredient foods only, which is like sort of basically a natural diet, like a more of like a paleo type of approach, and then water only, no seed oils, intermittent fat, like the whole ancestral kind of path in terms of his diet.
Ancestral diet.
Yeah, he says he's lost 37 pounds.
That's amazing
already, and he's losing 2 to 3 pounds a day for the last 2 weeks. So he's probably in a really nice like clip in terms of weight loss, because sometimes these things plateau. And he said he's going to lose. His plan is to lose another 95 pounds to get himself back to the 220. Gosh. Anyway, very inspirational story. Very cool to hear. It's made me want to lose the like 50 pounds I've gained in the last 2 years.
I'm proud of you.
Amazing.
I'm proud of you, Need Creations. This is a good drink if you want to try it. It's a probiotic.
I think it has too many ingredients for his diet. Yeah. Does it really? Yeah, I don't think you can catch that in the tundras.
It's 40 calories.
It's 40 calories, but it has a lot of ingredients.
Oh, you mean like bad ones? Okay.
Well, it's probably not bad
sea
stuff.
salt. It looks like it has like.
But when you're on, probiotic. A lot of these diets benefit from having a very strict mindset, and the moment you stray a little bit, it's hard.
It's hard.
Very cool.
It's great post. The top comment was from Wheel Satoshi. He goes, "This is very inspirational. Thank you. And I'm on a weight loss journey of my own. This is great to help keep me going." He said, "Yep, hell yeah, keep it up."
We are all Satoshi. Are one of our top open source contributors right now.
Nice. Zap him too. No, this way.
Get him some zaps. Get him. He's the one who enabled us to do roundtables and
we haven't got to that. We haven't got to that.
I don't mean. I'm
hey,
just
you're spoiling for the
I'm
people.
Teasing them, Car. You know me.
Yeah, get out of here. Get him out of here.
Who that?
Yeah, great post. The next top story is this the last top story?
This is the last.
The last top story of the week on Stacker News Live is from a Mr. Jimmy Song. I saw him yesterday.
No way, did you?
Saw him at the Commons. He walked right past me.
Did he tip his hat to you?
No. I think he was headed home. I was like, "Hey, Jimmy," and he just went like.
He just kept walking and didn't even acknowledge
it. It's okay. The Hidden Power of Suffering. This is from September 26th. Meta post. Why is it a meta post? 26 comments, 15,500 stats. What is this about? Why is it a meta post?
I think because it has nothing to do with Bitcoin. He doesn't even mention Bitcoin in it. But I love these these posts he's doing. He's so
big fan of Stacker News, dude.
He's so good. He has like
big fan of Stacker News.
He has a very strong point of view.
He's supporting local startups. He's supporting local startups.
He is. I mean, he supported us from like day one.
Jimmy's a legend.
He is. Anyway, he writes about suffering and like basically the benefits of suffering and how it's like built into us to need to suffer to grow, more or less. It's like part of the expectation our design has is that we suffer on some level and overcome it. And he, in Jimmy's fashion, he likes to philosophize about the current state of our culture and what might be the causes. And this is one, the lack of suffering is one of the causes that he points to. And he, basically saying that our society has become too comfortable. We've become uncomfortable with we avoid suffering now. Mm-hmm. One of the best, like a really fantastic example that I hadn't heard of was the mouse utopia experiment, where they had where they put a bunch of mice in a lab experiment in a cage with an abundance of food, no predators, no threats. Completely safe. And what ended up happening to the mice was they basically it culturally destroyed them. And then he says here, paraphrasing the experiment, the women became aggressive, the men became removed, like they stopped even trying to court females. They became metrosexual mice and were grooming themselves regularly without ever trying to actually mate with the females. It's really, the sort of parallels to what we have going on culturally, are pretty intense.
Yeah, Jimmy shared some links here in the show notes. See, Stackers, you were telling him to comment, and look, he did. There you go.
Yeah,
shared some videos. Yeah, that's fascinating, man. That's completely fascinating. I don't know I know for me personally, I think, finding my way back to my faith has helped me make leaps and bounds, not only on like just being a better person, but also thinking about these things from like a more, I don't know, is it practical or just like a basic level foundational understanding? So that's what's helped me, but I think everybody kind of has to figure it out on their own. But yeah, definitely suffering does make a difference. Like we were talking about it this week. I think I recorded a pod today with BTC Retriever, and we were kind of talking about how like when you think you're at the close end to your suffering, you realize there's actually more suffering that you didn't even know you were capable of enduring. And when you reach that, you're like, oh wow. Because at the end of the day, like at least for me, I always just go to God and leave it with Him, and that's sometimes all you can do. And that's what Jimmy's alluding to here. We're not in control of this kind of stuff in some extent.
What kind of stuff?
Just life.
Life
and suffering.
I don't know. I mean, I think we know Jimmy is quite devout in his faith. But he doesn't, I think his point doesn't really call upon that faith at all. But it definitely, I think is consistent with I would say a prescription, like the prescriptions that religion has for like what humans are and what we need, what we're capable of, what's good for us, what's bad. I think that his post shares those parallels with religion.
How do you get through your suffering, Keyan?
I suffer more when I don't suffer. So that's like basically.
Wait, what?
I suffer more when I don't suffer. So if I'm not suffering, I feel worse than I do when I suffer in the ways that other people would call suffering. So for me, that's better. For me, that's actual
every day
pleasure.
I see you're suffering.
Most of the time.
You're suffering right now?
Yeah, probably. I try to.
I'm kidding.
I try to. I had a conversation with Exius earlier this week, and we were talking about
suffering.
A little bit. We're talking about compliments and receiving compliments, and I had mentioned that I don't like to hear them usually, and I said it might not be healthy for everyone, but I don't. And he's like, what's the reason for that? And for me, it's like I want to set my score back to 0 all the time. I always want to be at the beginning of the game or coming from behind in a game. I never want to think I'm ahead. That's good. So this is so that I'm willing to suffer, so that I'm willing to suffer all the time, because I want, because I need to get a point that I'll erase immediately. But anyway, it's like, I think I've always felt my best suffering, and it sucks in the moment maybe sometimes, but in retrospect, it's the greatest thing in the world, because it's like, look at what I'm capable of enduring to do what I need to do. It gives you confidence about your life in general.
Definitely makes you, whenever you do run into a problem, you're like, oh, this is nothing compared to the suffering.
I know I can do this because I've done it before.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Great posts.
Excellent posts.
We're going to get into some meta stuff. The first one is Sats Razor. Make the Stacker News community a sponsor of Bitcoin Plus Berlin Hackathon. 1.8 million sats. What, stackers?
That's right, guys.
This is from Coob. 50 comments. September 27th. Bitcoin post. What is this? I've never heard of this.
Oh, how dare you? So I'm pretty sure this was Carr's idea. That he's now very being coy.
Where is this place at? I don't even know what this is.
Trying to be cute about it.
Is this some plants here?
Yeah.
What is this?
So Car's a very strange memory. This is right outside Lisa and I's office. Car's desk is like right.
I don't. This is Pub Lab right here.
That way.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. Dude, I'm so busy.
I don't know
what you guys are doing.
Yeah, Car got hit in the head this week. They were building a geodesic dome.
But tell us, stackers, what this is. What is this?
Okay, so Lisa's throwing a Nixon Bitcoin conference in Berlin. And
look at that. I love that design.
Yeah. And her and Car were like tag teaming me outside my office. Like, you should sponsor it. You should sponsor it. Why don't you sponsor it? What are you? Are you a taker and not a giver?
Oh, wow. I didn't say that. Maybe she did. I didn't say that.
You say that kind of stuff all the time.
You're like, I imply it. Like I don't actually call you.
I feel like every person you meet, you're like, Have you guys read this book? I'm a giver. I'm a giver. Everyone else is usually a taker, just so you know.
Hey, Carl Dong's right there. He's coming.
See?
There you go.
People can talk to him about Obscura VPN and leave out anything Carr said about it.
He doesn't watch.
He's probably a taker, right, Carr?
Carl Dong. No, dude, you can't be a taker with a name like Carl.
You're
He's
right.
a giver. You can tell.
Oh, that's right. You guys have a similar name. See, it's definitely a
I
giver.
don't know.
Anyway,
Oh, hey, it's
no, but we were having this conversation. They were giving me crap about not ever doing advertising, which is fair. I don't actually believe a product like Stacker News at Stacker News' stage should be like doing paid advertising. But Carr or Nifty, because Carr doesn't want to take credit for
I'm
this.
just getting blamed for all of this.
No, but this is your idea. It's not blame. It's credit.
It's not. It wasn't my idea. I was just trying to get you to sponsor something for just something.
I'm pretty sure it was your idea. It could have been Lisa's idea. Someone said Sat Racer in that conversation. And I was like, I didn't really get it at first. It took me about 24 hours. But then I was like, you know what? It would be really cool if the community of Stacker News sponsored a hackathon.
That would be cool, yeah.
It's a really powerful signal versus, this corporation gave money to this hackathon.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I told Lisa I'm going to do the Sat Razor. I told her we probably wouldn't be able to get much money. But we outdid my estimate.
1.8 million sats. Is that more than the Anita one?
Anita one was over 3. I think we're at like 3.4 on the Anita.
That's a lot of sats, bro.
It's a lot of sats. I put 800 in it personally. I'm part of the Stacker News community.
800?
My personal.
I put some sats in there. I don't think I put that much. I think I put like 5,000. I think.
Okay.
It's a lot.
It's good. Thank you for your service, Stacker. But it was amazing turnout. Like we got 1 million sats from everyone. I think it'd be really cool, at a conference in Berlin at some point.
That's awesome. Look at that.
I love that.
That's amazing. Who made this? This is from
Nemo.
Nemo. He made what is this, Game of Thrones or what is this?
Nemo the Memo.
I don't know. It's basically says Stacker News Pleb, and then SN donation pool. That's cool, man. The prophecy. That's amazing. I love that.
That's a great meme.
Dang, that's amazing. Yeah, that's really cool. And then the top comment was from Nifty. She said, "Oh my God, this is so amazing. Thanks, y'all." That's my Nifty impression. There you go, dude. What amazing community we have here on Stacker News. Wow.
It's cool.
What do you think? What's the highest you think we'll ever get to a Bitcoin raise at some point in the future?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
What's the most you think we'll ever hit for like one of these sat raisers? Maybe 100 million.
I don't know. Maybe.
Dude,
that's a Bitcoin.
To me, this feels more. I don't know. I don't go on Geyser, but like this feels more. This was like fast, dude. Way faster than Geyser. You can say it.
I actually don't. I go on Geyser. I've donated to several projects on Geyser. I like Geyser.
It feels faster though.
What do
I
you
wonder
mean?
if it's
Oh, you mean
because you guys already have the community, and then there's.
I think what it is I think it's in part the community. People there are already,
And then you can
they're
talk
spending
about
and
it.
earning, and
you
you
can
can
talk about
you
it.
can talk about it on theirs. I don't know if there's much conversation. I think part of what Geyser could take from this maybe is like ranking the projects on their front page so that people can visit regularly and say, this is a project that's like trending in terms of donations.
And let anybody comment. Don't just like let only the person who made it comment.
Only the donators.
Yeah. Or not the donators, but like the person who made the post, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they're Geyser's doing great,
know,
so they
dude.
don't need
I think
any
you might
help.
have something really going on here with these sats raisers.
I think the sat raisers are cool.
This would be a cool little, because it hit the front page pretty fast, right?
I boosted it.
You boosted it. Okay.
Put 100K in the sat.
There you go.
Sat pool.
The next meta post is Stacker News Roundtable number 1, building on Bitcoin culture, and more. This is a Prism Bitcoin post. 71 comments, 161,000 sats. What is this?
Yeah, so for a long Kevin has been wanting to do like group discussions like this for a year, and they just kept getting put off and deprioritized. But We Are All Satoshi implemented both prisms and automatic thread subscription, so it gave us all the tools we needed to create a group discussion. So Kevin was like, "Oh yes, I'm going to do my first group discussion." So he contacted a bunch of heavy-hitting Bitcoiners and
Udi's not a Bitcoiner.
got them to show up. Well, pseudo Bitcoiner Udi,
Shitcoiner Udi.
he's perhaps I don't know much about Udi. I just know he has divergent takes from Bitcoin people. I know he says positive things about shitcoins, and he fights with a lot of Bitcoiners about it. But he only discusses Bitcoin here. So he clearly knows how to read a room, I think. But and he says I think things that are helpful for Bitcoin and should make Bitcoiners think a little bit, because he has an outside perspective and is willing to share it. Anyway, we also have Will in here from Fold, CEO of Fold. Good, yeah, Will Reeves. He total I don't know, like man's man Bitcoiner founder, and really, it gets into it a little bit with Udi, disagreeing with Udi. They, civilly, of course, more of a discussion than anything. Paul Stork also speaking to the motivations behind BIP 300 and what he thinks that to do for Bitcoin adoption. Similarly with Lisa. Lisa had some of the best takes in this entire thread. I really enjoyed her steelman of why Bitcoin doesn't need to change. I thought it was fantastic. You could tell it came to her naturally, that side of it. But overall, just a really, I don't know, cool. I'm looking forward to a lot more of these, because it's really we could have several people who are, worlds smarter than me on to Stacker News discussing Bitcoin and getting paid for it. And we're all learning from it. I think that's just really cool.
I think my helpful constructive criticism would be when I saw it, I thought like anybody could go in there and like ask a question, but it looks like only Stacker News can ask questions.
No, I told you.
Where did you grab those questions from?
I told you earlier that you could reply in there right now if you wanted to, and if you go through there are more replies from other people.
But they're only answering Stacker News questions.
Stacker News is asking them questions to try to get the conversation started, having prepared for this to happen. But the whole idea it's just a setup. Like every Stacker News question is a setup that any stacker can come in there and talk about. It's just trying to seed it with things. One of the things we noticed with AMAs is people usually wouldn't get super relevant questions or very good questions when they didn't have a little bit of scaffolding for them. And so this is part of that, to guarantee there are questions ready.
I think, because where do these questions come from? You guys just came up with it, or Rook came up with it? Or?
Kevin, who is
did they get to see the questions
professional interviewer? I don't think so. Maybe.
Okay. Oh, they did. Okay. I think the only constructive criticism would be like maybe make a post before this one, so the stackers can vote on the questions, and then you guys can have the questions, and then we get the questions ready. I think that was like the one thing I wish, and then also I think making it more. I mean, not to say this is not relevant to Stacker News, but it was just it felt like all over the place as far as like the roundtable discussion.
How so?
There's just I don't know. I don't want to blame it on Udi, but it's just like, it would have been cool to be like, oh, we're talking about, I don't know, Core Lightning today, or like L&D roundtable, or just like a, privacy roundtable, like just more niche, I think. This one just felt like building on Bitcoin and Bitcoin culture and more. Like,
I see, too general.
It was too general. And
yeah, I think we wanted to start out more general, but I think that's a great piece of feedback, and
I think you would have more people engaged. And then also I think the questions was the big thing for me. It was just like, let the stackers ask the questions.
Okay, so you don't like prepared questions. I know. Yeah, it did seem like when I talked to you this morning, you were under the impression that it wasn't.
Yeah, it looks like very scripted. It looks like, to me, when I saw it, and I know media pretty well, but I know you really well, so I knew you wouldn't do that. I was like, it looks like these questions were made ahead of time. They got sent over to them, and then it just looked like it was just like a playing out.
I mean, they might have been sent to them ahead of time. I actually don't know. But you conveyed to me this morning that you thought that stackers couldn't ask questions.
Yeah, and
it
also looked like we couldn't ask questions.
Yeah, I think that is definitely something we didn't intend. I don't know about. I didn't work on any other part of this other than getting the software deployed, but and then also enjoying that we could do it.
Stackers will revolt.
Yeah, but like all the criticisms I think are pretty good. So we need to make it seem more inviting.
Yeah, more inviting to the stackers and just
Maybe-
let us ask the question.
Maybe occasionally get less general. I think us having questions is. I kind of disagree on that point.
Or at least ahead of time so we can pick them.
I think, getting the stackers maybe more involved in the questions. That might be tricky, but we'll maybe figure that out. But yeah, I think like a place for these to wait, kind of like on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like where you have like this premiere thing. Perhaps we can do that for AMAs, because I know that's like a lot of the behavior that we see for people who want to do AMAs. They want to like put them up ahead of time, let questions build up, and then come through for an hour or something and answer.
Yeah, that would be cool, because then you could literally... Yeah, like you said, create this post ahead of time, get all the questions, get those questions upvoted, and then create the AMA post with those questions already selected by the stackers. And then the stackers come in there to reply to the questions they picked. So that's something I would think about. Cool, that's good. The next meta was SN release, LNURL, pay comments, JIT. Wait.
Yeah.
JIT? Anon?
JIT. Just in time is what that stands for.
Oh, just in time Anon rewards, donations, boost changes, more. Prism post, Coob.
Yeah, we'll go try to go through these fast. But so when you send a Lightning payment to a Lightning address now, you can add a comment. People have discovered that you can use this for DMs on Stacker News.
So if I scan this right now, I can send a comment in this?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can do this here.
So that's but otherwise it's kind of a useful feature, because a lot of people do want to send comments with their payments, like for why they're sending the payment.
Oh, right
so
there,
it's cool.
I can say like, hey, thanks for making this on news.
And it'll show up in your notifications, and you can kind of go back and forth. It's kind of kludgy. It's not like an actual DM system. It's more like
so I sent that to right now to We Are Satoshi.
There's a current generation. There was a generation of people that use
note.
pagers to do texting. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like a kludgy solution.
It's fine. That's a better way to do. I think I got some DMs on there.
Yeah, I sent
No,
you
that's
one
fine.
yesterday.
That's a good way to that way I can message Darth directly. But I have to pay for it.
So you guys could.
That would be a cool little thing though, like an inbox for it or something.
An inbox. Yeah, I mean, we want to do DMs.
We're going to do DM inbox, but you have to pay with.
We want them to be encrypted though.
But you got to pay with this. Kind of cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was. What else was there? There's a few other small things there. I don't think are worth going over. And then we had another.
Ben Carmen said there was the Lightning address problem or something. Or?
Oh yeah. So like if I'm paying from Stacker News to a Lightning address on Wallet of Satoshi. What our current implementation did was it did not check that Wallet of Satoshi sent us an invoice for the right amount. So Wallet of Satoshi could have been like, pay me 10 Bitcoin. And if your account on Stacker News had 10 Bitcoin, and which it wouldn't, because we don't allow you to store that much with us. But if it did, it would have sent it 10 Bitcoin, because we didn't check that. We were trusting the receiver of the payment to send us the right invoice. But Ben found this he looked at the code when he was trying to get his verified contributor badge, and found it really fast, like within an hour, I think, of that feature coming out. So
got him coming on the pod next week.
No way, really?
Yeah, I got Ben.
I didn't realize you're spinning your pod back up.
I mean, there's a couple people that have been wanting to come on the pod, and I've been like, no, wait till I get a little bit more, stable or less suffering. I recorded one today, and then I was like, you know what? I've never had Carmen on. I was like, I need to get.
Oh,
on.
that'd be cool. I don't think many people have had just a Carmen podcast. That'll be a gem. Who's had just Ben Carmen on their podcast?
Rook has.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, he did.
But yeah, I feel like me and Ben, like we talk about a lot of different stuff, kind of like me and Paul. So it's going to be really good. I think it'll be great. We'll talk about all sorts of things, not just like Bitcoin stuff.
Ben's like deep. He like hides it, but he's like super smart.
He's
and deep.
so special, that guy. The next meta is mutes.
Yeah, so we implemented mutes. People have been asking for mutes for the whole time.
That's crazy.
People love muting.
This is what kind of pained me when I saw this.
You don't like mutes?
No, this is where it was. Where did I see it? Somebody said something. Yeah, this one. F said, just muted Darthcoin. Thanks, Cube. Like that kind of, when I saw that, dude, that kind of hurt me. for a second.
Oh, you should mute them. That's the solution to that. Why did that hurt you?
It was just because, like, it's just like, yeah, we're muting people now. Oof.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like living in a community and you're like, get out of the place because you're sick. Go sleep on the beach in your tent and die alone. Kind of what it feels like. I
agree.
mean, not entirely, but
I mean, I don't. Some people prefer, they want it. They want to have they want to have the experience that they want, and so it's kind of like, allowing them to maybe put headphones on when they're in a room with someone.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it's like.
You said one of the cool side effects, you'd be able to mute ad though.
Yeah, ad's a user. So like a lot of our features we try to reuse like code. We try to reuse things that we already have. So like ad is implemented as its own user.
So people will be able to mute ads.
Everyone will be able to mute ad because it's a user. Similarly, I think it was Null Count, notorious.
Isn't that going to hurt your ad sales though?
Probably. I don't. What? I mean, why wouldn't it? It makes perfect sense. But I think, what we might do is like scope it to like, you don't get rewards for all the ads do is go to rewards. Like we never intend to take any money from ads. So it'll just, who
needs money?
Worst case scenario, what happens is the ad they don't get rewards for muting the ad. Plus most of our people who visit are lurking. They don't even have an account. So they're not going to mute. They're not going to be able to mute.
Okay. Well, that's all the stories this week on Stacker.
If you're looking to advertise on a Bitcoin website,
if you're looking to advertise Stacker News, go right ahead. Our users will mute you.
I mean, they might not. They might appreciate ads. You know what? That's who you want to see. See your ads anyway.
Hey, you know what though? If you want to advertise on Stacker News Live, this guy won't mute you.
That's right. Car would like I'm
just saying.
I will implement a button so that you can mute the ad when we get it on Stacker News Live.
But if you want it on Stacker News Live, hey, we're growing. We're a growing pod. We're a growing boy.
How good are we growing? We should go over. We should have a super Stacker News Live.
We've doubled listenership and viewership year over year. So
look at that.
I'm just saying.
Keep that up for another 100 years.
Another 3-4 years.
We might have.
Just saying. Get in early. We'll remember. But yeah, I think. Yeah. I mean, that's good. I mean, it's a good way. I mean, you're gonna make the stackers happy. So
it's like, So what happened was Katie got a friend over the last year who watches Stacker News. So two people now.
There's more, dude. All the time I'm getting hit up about Stacker News.
Like,
everywhere I go, even in Mexico. I was in Mexico. People were like, "Oh, I like Stacker News." Like, oh,
we should do a Spanish version of that.
Hey, hablas español.
Someone dub me in Spanish.
What was I gonna say? Okay, I'm gonna get into my story stackers because did you have a story?
Those are, all this like meta junk will be my story.
So first, I wanna share this post because everybody worked really hard on this on the hackathon projects, and the panels are finally released. So we released that at Pleb Lab. I made a post here online, but it has all the UTXO dealership stuff. So all the stuff that Super did, I finally got that up there. All the videos are there, all the winning teams, categories and stuff, the Mutiny one, Satogram, the panels that I was a part of, the one that Keyan was a part of. I don't know if people ever saw this, but Keyan actually, where are you at right here? Oh, you're this one. You had another great, informative, kind of like similar to ads. Why not to use Stacker News? So this was one that Keyan made.
This is part of my suffering.
It's part of your suffering. But yeah, people are watching it. I don't know if stackers are commenting. No, they're not. But yeah, just wanted to share this post. A lot of people worked really hard on getting this hackathon up and running, and Logan's been working behind the scenes to get these videos ready. So
no, I love the documentation you've done on the conference. You shared it in native format on Stacker News a couple of days before, and I went through and I watched a bunch of stuff that I hadn't seen.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I try to treat the stacker special. The other thing was my next top story was AI, hardware, and virtual reality. This is a Stratechery post. As you know, I'm a big fan of what Ben does over there at Stratechery. But he had this post is about AI, hardware, and virtual reality, and I just want to share something here. He calls it TMT, like he calls this kind of sector technology, media, and telecoms, and he says what unifies them is that all deal in a world of massive upfront investments. huge fixed cost. So near perfect scalability once deployed equals or is zero marginal cost. And then he dissects these into 3 categories. He says media is a recording or publication that enables a shift in time between production and consumption. Telecoms enables a shift in place when it comes to communication. Technology, which generally means software, enables interactivity at scale. And then he said another way to look at these categories is to look at media consumption when it entails consuming content that was created at a different time. Communication entails talking to somebody who's in a different place. Software entails manipulating bits on a computer in a manner that doesn't actually change anything about your physical space, just the virtual one. And he said the constraint on each of these is the same: human time and attention. Media needs to be created, software needs to be manipulated, and communication depends on there being someone to communicate with. He goes really in depth, talks about the ChatGPT stuff that was announced this week with, like, there's rumors of like Johnny Ive working with Sam Altman on some type of new orb or something. But the cool thing, dude, Zuck, did you see this?
So I didn't see this.
So Zuck made some smart glasses.
How long you need to be cooking that chicken for?
You can pretty much do this.
Or you're playing pickleball.
Wear these glasses on your thing, and it'll show you like
and you want to know if that's
food's cooked, all this kind of stuff with their Meta AI.
She disagrees, but you know the truth.
It's like the same thing that Snapchat has, but with AI.
Without AI.
And for updates to the glasses,
and so
makes them
Ben kind of goes in here and just like fully like breaks everything out of the box as far as like understanding what Zuck's doing and his strategy behind it.
I think that the
really,
AI
they're really nice glasses.
Is
though.
Going to be just as
it's just the camera that kind of throws me off.
Being widely adopted.
I mean, they're well placed. I mean, it looks they picked a good frame. They picked the Wayfarers. It's already this kind of thick acetate frame, which already have like an embellishment
this last year's AI breakthroughs,
like near the
I
temples.
Thought that smart glasses were only really going to become ubiquitous.
I think it makes more sense than a lot of other types of glasses you could choose.
I think the interesting thing, though, Keyan, is like if you look at like Apple, what they did, they made this humongous piece of machinery or whatever it is. It's huge, and it's tethered into the wall. They also have a similar thing. It's a little bit smaller. It's a Quest, and then they have this, right? Like you said, like Snap, where they have their these glasses. But just knowing how Apple thinks, they're probably going to end up stripping it down to its like until it gets to this. But it's also interesting they have Meta has this and they have this Quest, and like eventually you would think they would meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, they're both going the same direction.
Yeah, but it's just interesting the 2 different ways that they're going.
Did you see the video today about their photorealistic avatars that they have?
Who, Meta?
Meta has.
Oh wow, no.
No, I put it on Stacker News. It might still be in the like on the near the top in the recent tab. But let's see if we can find it because it'd be awesome to show it. Should be Facebook as the first word.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, there it is right there. You just passed it. A little up. There we go. Facebook's VR team.
Photorealistic avatars? What's
yeah.
this?
Zuck did it. Look at that avatar on the right.
Which one is the avatar?
On the right. That's it.
Wait,
this is the avatar.
Incredible.
Which one? This one right here?
The one all the way on the right, dude.
This one.
That's his avatar. And
yeah, dude, that's fucking scary.
Yeah, right?
It's almost like the whole thing with the Apple thing. Yeah, he looks like an avatar in real life.
But,
anyway.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he looks like literally from James Cameron movie. But
yeah, but it's like the same thing with Apple's thing though, where they had this big humongous thing that you have to wear, and then those were just all cameras, and it was recreating the world outside of the initial world that you're seeing inside the glass. So it's like recreating in real time. So yeah, dude, we're moving into this hyper what is it? Just like a hyper surrealistic
hyper reality. Yeah, but
it's not reality. It's like
it's like anime. It's like where they like heighten.
It's crazy, dude. I feel like a boomer.
Face. It just feels like one.
But I mean, you'll never be a boomer because that's a generational term.
I feel like a millennial boomer.
A moomer.
A moomer, dude. It's insane, dude. It's insane. A lot of insane stuff's coming out right now. A lot of
cool stuff. I mean, all this money
from the tech side of things, it's cool. But like when you start really seeing how it plays out, it's like, oh man, we're encroaching on a lot of different things. Who the fuck needs Obscura now? If you have all this other stuff, it's like
you might not be able to use something like Obscura if you're using end-to-end devices like things that these companies are producing.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no escape.
There is no escape. Everybody's gonna be riding around in their Teslas on Apple Glass and Meta Glass and everything else.
There's gonna be inside the Tesla, not even driving it because it's driving itself, and then you're talking to your AI girlfriend and with a photorealistic avatar in the metaverse.
So that's one of the cool things I wanted to share. The other thing was, did you see this? SatsLink. Did you see this?
I did see this.
Dude, whose is this?
You know whose it is.
Oh, okay, it is? Okay. Dude, this looks sick, man. I want one today.
Oh, the pre-order is available.
I want this. If I think what it is, if I think what I think it is.
Oh, you're wrong about what it is.
Oh, it's not. So somebody posted here, Wi-Fi, 2G, Bluetooth support, ESP, device-to-device radio, internet access, RGB light. And this is where like it kind of goes back to me. Like you see all this high-end Meta, Apple stuff that's getting created, and then you have the Bitcoiners here like starting back from scratch, dude. Like literally starting from scratch. It's starting to look more like a almost. It reminds me of like Ghost in the Shell, where you're going to just see like these two different versions of technologies like parallel to each other existing, almost like Blade Runner future, where it's just like all the stuff that the very rich companies have, and then all the cypherpunk stuff just like along that path side by side. Or maybe it's always been that way. I don't know, but it just feels maybe it's always been that way. I don't know.
I think so. I think I think it probably has always been that way, and will probably continue to always be that way. There'll always be people trying to fight other people's power, and it's good because otherwise those people would just keep taking the power.
Move to
none for anyone else.
Move to a Blade Runner future. It looks like.
But this is cool. So this is from Cold Card. This is their next device, and someone in the Stacker News comments listed out some of the specs, and they lined them up to the Lightning Signer requirements, and apparently the specs for the SatsLink match a Lightning Signer requirement. So what they're building is this is intended as a Lightning Signer. So this will allow you to sign Lightning related stuff happening on a remote node.
Nice.
Yeah. So it is kind of like a Lightning. It is a Lightning dedicated device. A Lightning node is not on your phone, but it is a Lightning dedicated device. You can run your node maybe on Greenlight or whoever else. I think there was another wallet that was recently announced called Iris or something.
So cool. So cool. So cool.
I mean, it looks super cyberpunk,
just
right?
as a Bitcoiner, just like as a Bitcoiner in me, I'm so glad that this is getting.
Who is like designing these things? This isn't NVK, is that?
I'd have to ask.
How big is their team? I don't even know because I'm like, who's doing what? I feel like I just see. I'm like, NVK must be the most productive person on earth who just also happens to have a bunch of time to out-tweet anyone.
I'd have to go ask. I mean, they brought us a block clock here. I mean, CoinKite has always been very gracious and very helpful to Pleb Lab from the very beginning. So I will say that that whole team, that whole company, they've been always just absolute, world-class people there, at least to Pleb Lab. So yeah, man, love to get my hands on something like this. This would be amazing. Oh man, it's so cool, dude. It's so cool.
You hear that? Someone out there who is associated with Cold Card. Car will do a whole podcast where he just talks to this device's avatar.
No, dude, it's so cool, man.
In the metaverse.
It's so cool. You don't think this is cool?
It's very cool. I mean, I think that's what I mean. Like the devices that they produce, they speak to a Bitcoiner aesthetic. It's like it's a cyberpunk future. It's like there's this underclass, or like this class of people who are walking around where everyone's wearing these headsets and stuff, and we just have these like devices that peer-to-peer communicate.
I say one day, man. I'm calling it right now. I'm going to call it right now. Here we go. I think maybe like in 10 years or maybe like in 15 years, maybe they make a car. Who knows?
You're already unsatisfied with the device you've been asking for like 2 years.
You never know.
Now you're like, what I need now? A motor vehicle.
That just, you never know.
And then when you get the motor vehicle, you're like, I need space travel.
Hey, we're going to need,
Bitcoiners
are going to need their own car. Bitcoiners are going to need their own car. They're going to need their own planes. Parallel society, man. Let's fucking go. Cool. I think that's all. That's all the stories I got. Let's get into the top.
Super stat segment.
Super, yeah. I haven't seen Super.
I think he's on the lam.
He's on the lam.
I think he's spinning up his dealership his UTXO dealership.
All right, so we got the top stackers who stacked this week. You stacked 1.6 million. How do you stack 1.6 million?
I think I'm getting credit for the sat raiser.
Oh, so you got to forward those?
Yeah, I mean they're already forwarded, but they're just getting. This is like a bug where I'm counting to
fix
mine.
That looks highly sus.
Highly sus.
Siggy 47. Siggy 47 got.
Wow, look at that.
198.
200K.
He's slinging those deli sandwiches.
That's right. That's at least.
Buy like 2 of those.
Yeah,
at
you
least.
could buy a table of deli sandwiches.
You got Darth coin. Darth. I will never meet you, Darth.
You'll never meet him?
Mute him.
Oh, mute him.
Yeah.
I won't either. I appreciate Darth.
Bird Eye 21.
I won't mute anyone probably. I like seeing
NFL Survivor.
NFL Survivor.
Carlos Fandango. Great Ruby.
Monotone.
Elvis Mercury. Ezekias. Wow, look at this guy. Oh, look at this guy. Who's this guy?
Who's that?
Car.
Why is he named after a motor vehicle?
Look at this.
A style of
Oh, man. Look at this guy.
automobile.
Make 2 account stackers. 2 accounts. Shutting the gates. And then right after that, look, Jimmy.
Shutting the gates.
Look at that smile. Love it. Love to see it.
Beautiful.
Cool. Dude, NFL Survivor, is he still doing those posts every week?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, give him a sub, man. Come on.
I don't really see them. We'll get them. We'll get it, Car. Don't worry.
He's so committed. He's doing it like how many weeks in a row now?
People really like the sports. I mean,
how many
even
weeks?
Exeus is following it. I'm pretty sure.
How many weeks has he done it? Yeah, look at that.
I mean, he does sports posts like every day.
How much has he stacked? Oh, yeah. So look, dude, imagine all this going in 1 sub. Pretty nice.
Generating.
We got cool. We'll go into the most boring segment in Bitcoin. Give me a second.
You have a hat right now.
No, I don't. I disabled hats. Can you give me a mute for hats?
You already. You want to mute all the people with hats?
I want to mute my hat.
Oh, you can.
Where's the?
It's in your settings.
Where is it at? Is it Cowboys? That's right. It's in this part here. Here we go. Go for it, Keyan.
Yeah, it looks like Siggy's at the top. I think this is the same. I don't think this has changed much over the last week, really. It seems like all the people have managed to maintain their hats. Endothermic Dev is rising. Natalia rising. Ben has kept his hat. Lux, Bitdern. It's nice to see some new people. Tip. Look at Tip. Tip has kept her hat. She was trying to keep her. She wrote after Atlanta. She was like, I'm gonna try to keep my hat, and she's 19 days, racking them up. Car, look at you're on Stacker News Live, and you're rebelling against the hat, and Tip is doing Tip stuff, rapping.
Yeah, I heard her music.
I
heard her music in Mexico. It's just crazy. Music spreading. Cool. That's all we got this week, Stackers. Keyan, what are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing this weekend? It's probably normal. A normal weekend for me, which is
why do you say that?
Because I'm trying to rack my memory and cover the airspace.
What do you do on the weekend?
What I do on the weekend is I do what I normally do on every other day of the week.
Just
only
nothing?
I do it at home.
What do you work?
I work I do my newsletter, and then I do code reviews through Saturday into the evening, and then on Sunday I try to do only like 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours of code review
on Sunday. So you work both Saturday and Sunday?
That's right, sir. Oh. I mean, that's my leisure. Code review is leisure time. Suffering, Car. It's about suffering. It's not that. It's fun. That's usually what I'll do, and I'll just try to relax a little more. Try to read or
going anywhere this weekend.
I don't know. Is there stuff going on? Is there? Oh, you guys are having like a meeting or something?
Oh yeah. We're having the workshop, and then right before that, we're having like a little town hall thing.
What's going on in the town hall? Can I be the constable?
Sure, you can be a constable.
I want to be elected the constable.
We got a blockchain boog from Fountain. He said Zap. That was from last week's episode. Infiltration was inevitable. Cool. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I think I'm gonna go over to one of the Benz's house, and I think there's a party.
Whose house?
One of the Benz. One of the Benz. There's like 20 Benz here.
Like, okay.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. And then after that, go back to work on Monday. Yeah. Should be good. Stackers, if you're out there listening, make sure you you spend some time this weekend with, with your friends. Enjoy it.
Enjoy
Probiotics. You hear that?
Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's miracle.
It's miracle. Okay, Keyan.
Zap. Cool, man.